Good day, folks. This is Wager Detective, right back at you with another Wager Detective report for the Dodgers versus Yankees. Today's July 17th, 2026. Before we get into this cap, be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, leave comments, likes, and share this video, guys. You're helping Wager Detective out. I appreciate and love all my present and future fans out there. You guys motivate me, and I appreciate all your support. Let's get into this cap, if we shall. And the Dodgers are coming into this game minus 112, and the Yankees are minus 104. The over-under set at 9 at minus 114 to the over. Let's get into this cap. We look at the Dodgers, their last 9 versus the Yankees. They are 5-4. The thing that stands out here is their plus 19 run differential. They're scoring 6.44 runs a game to 4.33 in their last 9 meetings with the Yankees. That's coming out to about a 10.77 runs per game average. So last 9 versus the Yankees, 5-4. Now, if we look at those last 9 games, scoring 6 or better in 4 of those 9 games, and the Yankees scoring 4 or better, which is their average, 6 times. So again, Dodgers 5-4 last 9 versus the Yankees, plus 19 run differential. They did beat the Yankees. They won 2 World Series versus this franchise in 81 and back in 2024. So we'll keep that in mind as we further this cap. The road night games for the Dodgers this year 20-14, plus 79 run differential, 14 over and 18 under in those 34 road night games. 14 over, 18 under, and 2 push. Scoring 5.73 runs a game to 3.41 for their opponents. Comes out to 9.14 runs per game average. So looking good in road night games where they're 20-14, again, with a plus 79 run differential. And if we look at what they've done in the last 17 road night games, they're 11-6. So we isolated from the 34. Okay, let's break it down. Let's see what they're doing in the last 17. Last 17, 11-6, plus 38 run differential. So pretty much on the same pace as the full year. We said they're 20-14 in road night games overall, plus 79. And in their last 17, 11-6, plus 38 run differential, scoring 5.88 runs a game to 3.64. Comes out to 9.52 runs per game average. And then if we isolate it from the from 17 to the last 7, they are 5-2 in their last 7 road night games, plus 21 run differential, scoring 7.28 runs per game to 4.28 for their opponents, and that's a plus 3 runs per game average between their wins and losses over their last 7. So over their course of the year, 20-14 in road night games, plus 79 run differential. Last 17, we cut that number in half. Last 17, 11-6, plus 38 run differential. In their last 7, 5-2, ramping up the scoring to 7.28 runs per game average in their last 7 road night games. Now, last night overall, they went into the All-Star break 4-5 in their last 9 games overall. They lost 3 straight. They were swept by Arizona. And in their last 9 games overall, 3 over and 6 under. They're scoring 3.55 runs a game to 5 runs per game for their opponent. Comes out to 8.55 runs per game average. So that's what they were doing heading into the break. Kind of the scoring slowed up. And, heading into the break, lost 3 straight games going into the All-Star break. So we look at the Dodgers versus the American League on the road this year, 13-5, plus 70 run differential there, guys. In 18 road games versus the American League this year, they swept the Twins and they swept the Angels in those games. In their 18 games on the road versus the American League this year, scoring 6.83 runs a game to 2.94 for their opponents. Comes out to 9.77 runs per game average, and it's a plus 3.88 runs per game average between their wins and their losses. So very, very interesting there. Now, if we isolate it to the last 9 road games versus the American League, 6-3, plus 14 run differential. So when you cut it in half, in 18 road games versus the American League, plus 70 run differential. You isolate that in half, 6-3, but only plus 14 run differential. So if you were to cut it in half, and even if they were doing half, that would be plus 35. They're only doing plus 14 in their last 9 road versus the American League. Scoring 5.55 runs per game, but giving up 4 runs per game average. Comes out to 9.44 runs per game average. So they went from a plus 3.88 overall against the American League on the road in 18 games to, in their last 9, only being plus 1.55 runs per game average. Now, if we look at what they've done against the American League East, in particular, they are 6-3, right? Plus 6 run differential. They swept Tampa Bay, and 4 of those 6 wins came by only 1 run versus their American League East. Again, 6-3, 3 over, 5 under, and 1 push, scoring 4.44 runs a game to 3.77 for their American League East counterparts. Comes out to 8.22 runs per game average. And if we isolate even further versus the American League East on the road, they were 2-1 so far this year. We'll save the pitching for last because I feel like I have a better vibe for how I'm getting my information across. So we'll go right into the Yankees cap, and we'll save the pitching for last. So if we look at the Dodgers side of the cap, 5-4 last 9 versus the Yankees. The thing that stands out is plus 19 run differential. If we look at what they've done on the road versus the American League, 13-5, plus 70 run differential. Those are the bright spots for them. We look at their last 17 road night games, where they're 11-6, they're plus 38 run differential, scoring 5.88 runs a game. Like we said, last 9 versus the Yankees, scoring 6.44. If we look at what they're doing in road American League games, scoring 6.83. I expect this to be a high-scoring game, guys, and as we get into the pitching, we'll see why. But those are the bright spots for the Dodgers. Again, went into the All-Star break losing 3 in a row, and what else is not so much of a bright spot for them in this cap so far? 4-5 in their last 9 overall, scoring 3.55 to 5 runs a game for their opponents. So some good and some bad there. We know they have potential. You look at that lineup, the confirmed lineup. I mean, you got Ohtani, Freeman, Betts. You know, they got Betts batting cleanup. I expect balls to fly out of this park tonight, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least 3 home runs. I'm being serious. 3 or more. We're going to see fireworks tonight. It's my opinion. Let's get into the cap. Yankees. The Yankees, 6-4 in their last 10 games, 8-12 in their last 20. They're 23-20 at home this year, and 9-13 in one-run games. So, as we said, the Dodgers 17-12 in one-run games. The Yankees are 9-13. So a marked difference there in one-run games. Home night games for the Yankees this year, 14-12, plus 13 run differential, 11 over, 12 under, and 3 push in those 26 home night games. In their 26 home night games this year, they are scoring 4.96 runs a game to 4.46 for their opponents. Comes out to 9.42 runs per game average. If we cut that number in half and look at their last 13 home night games, they're 4-9, minus 4 run differential. So even though they're 4-9 in their last 13 home night games, they're only minus 4 run differential. 5 over, 8 under, and 1 push in their last 13 home night games, scoring 4.07 runs a game to 4.38 for their opponents. If we look at their last 9 overall, the Yankees were 5-4 last 9 overall heading into the All-Star break, 3 over and 6 under. Last 9 overall for the Yankees, scoring 4.44 runs a game to 4.33 for their opponents, coming out to 8.77 runs per game average. When we look at the Yankees home versus the National League this year, they are 3-3, but they're scoring 5.16 runs a game to 5 runs per game for their opponents. So home games versus the National League, scoring 5.16, and we said for the Dodgers in their 18 road games versus the American League, scoring 6.83. So these teams score against the interleague. Now, if we look at their overall versus the National League this year, they swept Washington in Washington. They were swept by Milwaukee at Milwaukee, and they opened the year sweeping the San Francisco Giants. So Overall versus the American League this year, they are 10-8, plus 10 run differential, scoring 4.33 runs a game to 3.77 for their National League counterparts. Now, the good and the bad for the Yankees, like I said, heading into the All-Star break, they were on a 7-game road trip before the break, and they went 5-2 on that road trip. You look at them in their last 9, 5-4, scoring 4.44 runs per game average. And if we look at them home versus the National League, they do score 5.16 runs per game in those 6 games. And if we look at their home night games, again, 14-12, plus 13 run differential, but their last 13 home night games, 4-9. But again, I temper that with saying even though they were 4-9 in their last 13 home night games for the Yankees, only -4 run differential. So some good and some bad there. Let's get into the pitching for the Dodgers. We're going to have Roki Sasaki on the mound. In his last 5 starts, the Dodgers are 3-2, but they're -5 run differential. 3 over and 2 under in Sasaki's last 5 starts. The wins came against Colorado, San Diego, and Baltimore. The losses came against San Diego and the White Sox. So in his last 5 starts, he has seen San Diego twice. And average score of those last 5 games when Sasaki starts, 5 runs per game for the Dodgers to 6 runs per game for their opponents. In his last 5 starts, Sasaki has 23 innings pitched and has given up 9 home runs with 25 hits and 22 earned runs. In Sasaki's last 5 starts, has an 8.61 ERA, a 1.61 WHIP, and he's giving up 3.52 home runs per 9 in his last 5 outings. If we look at what the Dodgers have done this year with Sasaki on the mound, the Dodgers are 8-8 in Sasaki starts this year, plus 7 run differential, 9 over and 7 under. They're scoring 5.31 runs per game to 4.87 for their opponents in 16 Sasaki starts. Comes out to 10.2 runs per game average. In his 16 starts this year, Sasaki has a 5.33 ERA, a 1.36 WHIP, and is giving up 2.11 home runs per 9 in 81 innings pitched, guys. Now, on the road this year, when Sasaki starts, the Dodgers are 3-4. He's given up a home run, Sasaki, in those 7 road starts at least 1 time in 5 of those games. So 5 out of the 7 road starts, he's given up at least 1 home run, and where the Dodgers are 3-4, they're scoring 5.71 runs a game to 5.28 for their opponents. Comes out to 11 runs per game average. In 36 innings in Sasaki's road starts, he does have a 6.25 ERA, a 1.44 WHIP, and he's giving up 1.5 home runs per 9. Against the American League, Sasaki, when Sasaki starts, the Dodgers are 3-3, 3 over, 3 under. The wins came against the Angels twice and Baltimore. Losses came against Cleveland, Texas, and the White Sox. In 32 innings pitched versus the American League this year, he does have a 3.94 ERA, a 1.22 WHIP, and a 1.12 home runs per 9. So it does numbers get a little better against the American League. But if you look at his road starts, 6.25 ERA, a 1.44 WHIP, and 1.5 home runs per 9. And again, in all his starts this year, a 5.33 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, and 2.11 home runs per 9. So we'll get into who's going to be on the mound for the Yankees. It's going to be Gerritt Cole. The Yankees are 2-3 in his last 5 starts, but in those last five starts where they're 2-3, they're still +5 run differential. The wins came against Minnesota and the White Sox. Losses coming against Tampa Bay, Boston, and Detroit. In his last 5 starts, the Yankees are scoring 4.2 runs a game to 3.2 for their opponents. Last 5 starts for Gerritt Cole, 27 innings pitched, a 5.33 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP, and he's giving up 1.66 home runs per 9. In those last 5 starts of 27 innings, he has given up 5 home runs and 16 earned runs. At home this year, when Gerritt Cole starts, the Yankees are 2-2, but they're +10 run differential. 1 over, 2 under, and 1 push in those 4 home starts for Cole. The wins came against Tampa Bay and Cleveland. The losses came against Tampa Bay and Cleveland. The wins came against White Sox and the Twins. In 22 1/3 innings pitched in 4 starts for Cole at home, He does have a 3.22 ERA, a 0.98 WHIP, but a concerning 2.01 home runs per 9. The Yankees are scoring 5.75 runs per game to 3.25 for their opponents in 4 home starts for Gerritt Cole. So the ERA comes down about 2 runs per game between his last 5 starts and his 4 home starts this year. If we look at Gerritt Cole in the year, the Yankees were 4-5 when he starts, but again, plus 10 run differential, 1 over, 7 under, and 1 push. In 9 starts this year for Cole, the Yankees are scoring 4.11 runs per game to 3 runs per game for their opponents. In his 9 starts this year, in 49 innings pitched, Cole has a 4.04 ERA, a 1.23 WHIP, and giving up a 1.46 home runs per 9. He has given up 8 home runs in 9 starts this year. Now, if we look at what he's done against the Dodgers in his career, from 2015 to 2023, he is 2-3 in the results. Those losses, most of those, all 4 of those, 3 of those games, we could run it down like this from the oldest to the newest. He won at the Dodgers when he was with Pittsburgh 4-3. He lost at Pittsburgh 4-8 when he was with Pittsburgh. He lost 5-6 against the Dodgers with Pittsburgh. He lost at the Dodgers when he was with Houston, lost 2-3. And then his sole start versus the Dodgers with the Yankees is he did win 6-3 at LA Dodgers. So 4 out of his last 5 starts versus the Dodgers have been in LA. The one game where he pitched at home, he was with Pittsburgh, lost that game 5-6. So again, against the Dodgers, as far as results for the teams he's been with, 2 wins and 3 losses. In those 3 losses, 2 of those games were only by 1 run, but he does have a 5.34 ERA in 28 2/3 innings pitched against the Dodgers in his career. But a lot of those games, all those games except one, was with the Yankees. And in the one game back in 2023, that was the last time he's seen him. He went to LA and the Yankees won 6-3. He pitched 6 innings and only gave up 1 earned run. Guys, if I'm looking at this game, first and foremost, I cannot go against the Yankees here. I got to call the Yankees here. That is going to be my call, is the New York Yankees in this game, primarily about many different factors that I see a lean being here. If you want to read back this report or hear back this report, just play it again. But if you're looking at all the metrics, guys, the Dodgers have some bright spots, but they went into the All-Star break 4-5, and they were only scoring 3.55 runs per game. The Yankees went into the All-Star break 5-4, where they were scoring 4.44 runs a game to 4.33 for their opponents, whereas the Dodgers last night were giving up 5 runs per game. I see balls going out of the park here, guys. I see Sasaki getting hit up. I could see even Cole giving up a home run or 2, but I think when the dust settles, I do believe that this is the Yankees' game to lose, and I just believe that the Yankees are going to win this game. As far as the total, I think we will get to an over here, whether it's the starters or the bullpen. I could see a couple crooked innings in the first 5 innings between these teams. And I think once the bullpens get in there, I think we'll see more runs. I do like the Yankees and the over here. So that's my call here, guys. July 17th, 2026. Wager Detective calling the Yankees on the money line and over 9. That's the cap. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave comments and likes everywhere. Share this video to help out Wager Detective, guys. I love all my fans, present and future out there. And I'll talk to you soon. That's the call here. July 17th, 2026. Wager Detective calling the Yankees on the money line and this game to go over 9. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.